Hey y'all, thanks for tuning back in. Today we're going to put a set of lowering spindles on the front of our Suburban. I think this is what we're going to take on a power tour. So let's get started, shall we? Cut the air compressor off so you can hear me now. It ain't loud as most air compressors, but it ain't quiet either. Take a screwdriver, stick it in the fins of your rotor and pull towards you. That'll force your fluid back up in your line and that'll free your brake caliper up. Take a 3/8 Allen head, socket, that takes your caliper off. Alright, when you take your nut off, if you pull the rotor forward, that'll release your outside bearing and your washer. If you screw the nut back in place without the bearing and washer, just the nut, back on the seal, and snatch the rotor towards you, it removes the grease seal and don't damage it. There's your inside bearing and your grease seal. I didn't have to remove that for this application, but since we're going to go on a power tour, I want to make sure everything's greased. So that's the reason I did that. But that way it don't damage your rear seal. Instead of trying to pry it out with a screwdriver, you just use the diameter of the bearing, which is what it's protecting, to pull the seal out. Alright, today we've got the transmission back. So instead of just putting that back in, that'd be too easy. So we're going to do a little something different. We're going to pull the motor out and put a thump stick in it. I got the graces from the boss lady, so since she told me I could do it, we're going to do it. Still haven't retrieved the head back for the 32. Like I showed you on it, pool noodle is your best friend if you don't want to gar up your paint job. Not that this paint job matters, but still, if you don't want to gar it up, that's the best way to do it.
Well, if you have a weakling helping.
Or if you have a weakling helping. I'm just saying.
You just said it before you did.
And don't never drop that whenever you take your hood off your 80 through 87 Chevrolet truck. A little bust your overflow jug. Guaranteed. Break it in there. Got it? I can just hold it up here. Okay. Got it. Same thing on this side. Drop on this side, it's going to bust your windshield washer. Both of them have been on there for a minute. They're real. building a power tour in June. So if y'all are out on it, we'll be driving this thing. So find us and say hey. We're gonna give out some stickers. We got 450 something subscribers. We do very much appreciate it. Everyone who is subscribed to the channel. We was going to go to a car show today, but my back's been out and my shoulders are bothering me, so I just didn't feel like I could hold up for the ride and be productive. I need a deep well with spark plug. Didn't know if I could hold out the ride that far and feel like videoing too. So we just opted to stay here. This off-road stuff ain't no joke. At all. That's the air conditioning bracket, so we're going to wipe it off with a rag and paint it. Or, yeah, it's fine. We'll do an in-house valve job on this, and if we have to do it, we'll need to turn around and go ahead and get this done and get it back in the truck. We had to wait a month on the last heads. But this thing drove the whole power tour last year with the transmission slipping. We got it out of the junkyard, put it on the trailer, brought it up here. I know I've said I hate pneumatic tools, but like I said earlier, my back's killing me, so. I'm trying to make y'all some content, keep entertaining.
Trying to get stuff done too.
Yeah, trying to get stuff done too.
In between backaches and migraines.
She's clean on the inside. That's a good thing. Clean as a pin. And you can see the rust inside the valve cover where it's set for a long time. When I pulled the dipstick out of it when we first got it from the junkyard, I thought the motor might have been ran hot. Kind of had me a little fearful, but there was just a condensation where it's been sitting. Like I said, this was intake and all I put on here, so it was clean up on the valley when I did that. It still is. Yes, she is. It's clean as a pin. The water galleys have got some kind of sludge in them of some sort. Okay, well let me show y'all what we're working with here. We started tearing the motor down, everything looked good until we got to this cylinder here. And right there is a indentation in the cylinder wall itself, and a bunch of rust. And it goes all the way around. And these appear to be stock pistons. I don't see any stamping on them. And where it says they're oversized or anything, but you can see right there. And it's visible in the camera of the ridge. And a ridge at the very top, like the cylinder beside it, ain't bad. And when you get one that's 1.25 inches down the bore, that's a bad thing, because that means your rings are coming up and catching that every time the piston goes up and down. So it looks like what might have happened is the engine might have been stuck. As you can see, there's marks on the side of that cylinder there. And they just fired it up and ran it. We drove it the whole power tour. You can see that one there. Same way. That one's slick, but you can see the markings are there. So don't really know. It didn't skip. It didn't have no irregular. Yeah. It didn't skip, and it didn't have any problems other than just transmission slipped. So what we did is we went out in the barn, and this here is an engine that has been in the machine shop and everything's been worked on it. So we're just going to take it and put it together. But I don't have a harmonic balancing off for it. So I'm going to take, there again, went to all the parts we got. You can see the box is faded. This stuff we had at the speed shop. That's a chrome oil pan. That's a dual roller timing chain set, and then that's a harmonic balancer. So we're going to take and assemble that on this here new engine and go that direction. This motor is built for dirt track racing. They come out of Georgia. Everything, it's all just got a skim layer of, I wouldn't call it rust, but you got a little yellow haze layer on it, wipes off with your hands. From sitting in the storage container. Alright, what we're going to stick in it is a Howard cam. We got some GM lifters. Like I said, this is stuff, just overstock stuff. The cams we ordered off the internet. The last two in existence that we can find. But you got your hydraulic lifters. We'll go ahead and stick them in our oil. We still got the oil left over from when we built the 32 motor, which wasn't just a video ago. I ain't got a video out yet because of still waiting on some parts. Or we can continue on with it.
The engine is together and ready for paint. We have it in the paint booth, all taped off, degreased and primed, and ready for the tan paint. The tan paint's going to match the Suburban, so can't wait to see what it looks like when it's finished. watch from out here. We didn't video putting the oil pan on and intake and taping it all up. There's nothing exciting about that, so got it degreased, primed, and just rolled it in there. It should match the center of the Suburban well enough anyway. It's crazy how much work we're doing to get ready for this year's power tour, when last year's power tour we just pretty much changed out the gas tank and I think the intake, the oil change, and hit the road. We had a really good time last year on the power tour, so we're looking forward to it. I hope we can meet some of our subscribers or some people who follow the channel along the way. Alright, so there's the first coat. He is about to put the second coat of paint on the engine. Any moment now. There he is. He's moving a little slow. Coat of tan on the engine. It had a little, a couple of places on there that looked a little iridescent, so I see we've got a fly in the paint booth, so I'm sure he'll attack that nice wet paint as soon as he's finished. If the paint fumes don't get to him. That's always bad when you paint. You go back in there and there's bugs. Trash, but the bugs make a mess when they try to get unstuck. So this third coat of paint should cover everything up. Thomas's first truck was this color. It was a S10 pickup truck.
We'll give y'all a sneak peek at the motor. It's got a chrome Earl pan on it. Went ahead and painted the oils in the units and all the wax motor, that way everything looks uniform. Let's go ahead and see what she's got going on. She's in the South 40 over here. We got all our bracketry and all painted up. The pulleys and bolts. We didn't paint the Pepsi can, it was done by Pepsi. She's standing on the porch support.
I was just gonna scuff it up, but if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it right, so I'm getting all the rust off of it. Prime it, and then we'll paint it.
And we bought some motor mounts from the parts store. I never have been one to like the rubber that we use nowadays, so I put urethane windshield sealer in it. That way I got urethane motor mounts now. You just pack the old ones was broke. You can do it with the old ones too, rejuvenate them. But if you take your new ones while they're still fresh, take windshield urethane, it's like $20 a tube. One tube would do both motor mounts, and you just fill around the gaps. Because when they come new, it's got hollow areas all the way around it. You can see that when it's broke loose from the thing, from the bracket. But you take and you fill that void in. Y'all got hung in the truck. Then you fill that void in with urethane. That gives you a solid urethane mount. So that just kind of helps with vibration. And the rubbers,
Do-it-yourself tip from Thomas.
and the rubber and glue you use nowadays don't last long and dry rots. Even with tires, you can have brand new tires and have dry rot cracks on them, just like these right here. These ain't even a year old. We put them on there right before we went on the power tour, and they got dry rot cracks on them. And they're ling-along tires. They're supposed to linger longer.
Can't have nothing nice.
You can't have nothing nice.
Unless you do it yourself.
After we get this done, we're going to buff it. Get it shining where it looks.
We might.
You can see all the dents in it.
This goes on forever, so I don't know. I don't know if we're going to start that or not, but we'd like to.
We decided on our Peterbilt. We're going to paint the frame and the sleeper and the cab in all the solid color. Then we're going to do our stripes in the middle, like this right here. When they painted the truck, they painted the tan all the way up top. Well, the whole fender was tan. Then they painted a dark brown over the top of it. And as it weathers, it looks like leather. It has a leather look to it, because of the texture that's in the tan paint when they had the overspray on it. So we thought that would be cool to do the stripes on the truck with, and maybe do an inlay on the frame itself as an accent color. But we figured bring y'all along, let's see this little tidbit of what we was doing, and we'll get back to work and get back with you in a minute. Okay, we got our freshly painted motor off the engine stand. It's still a little tacky, but we're gonna try and go ahead and put it in. See what we can get accomplished on this job. Forward a little bit. Forward. Drive. Alright. Down. No. Down, 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 down. Let it on down. Come on. All right, right there. All right. You get a floor jack stick under the transmission. It's okay.
It's okay. Just wet paint.
I
spent a lot of time sanding that though.
Anybody see the floor jack?
Right there in front of you.
Alright, I'm gonna use the floor jack, y'all. One was in front of me.
You can't see for looking.
If y'all looking for a floor jack quit, found one. Stick it in my nice shiny front wall, man. Alright, let Jack down.
No, not after I bust it.
Down, 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 down,
Really
down, down, down,
me right now.
down, down, down.
I did all this work for nothing.
Yep.
Scratching up
All
my
right.
work. Alright, now.
Take it up, back it up.
Pick it up, bag it up, take it on. Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, about looks clean.
It should.
This ain't but just our 300th motor we've done this week.
Pretty much.
I'm going to put the ground strap back on the back of the firewall while I'm here at it.
We were going to paint fender wells and all that, but we just decided not to.
I'm going to stick the headers and all on before we put the starter and all on. That way you can see what we need to clearance, because these are universal headers that we wound up buying.
I did get that sanded, primed, and we just painted it black. So that looks a lot better. It might still be a little bit tacky, so we're going to leave it covered up.
It might survive this whole ordeal, or it might not.
You just got to be extra careful.
That's my middle name. Extra.
Who?
Extra.
Extra?
That's my middle name, Extra. Careful.
I knew it's not careful.
That's your middle name.
So there's that, and then there's the Suburban, so looks pretty good.
Here's our 240 series Flowmasters we're going to stick on it. We got two sets of headers, one for the green truck and one for the Suburban. The motor we put in this is the one that was intended for the green truck. That's where the machine work was already done on it.
We took the green truck on the power tour in 2018. We didn't do anything to it either. We just got in it and left.
From barn to tour. Now, the green truck was my daily driver when we lived in Georgia. So, it had been having issues for a while, but we just kind of kept driving it. Because there wasn't nothing detrimental to the truck nor to us. It's just the truck's wore out. But it's going to be wore out for a little while longer, looks like. These headers come from Summit Racing. They come with all your hardware that you need to install them. Alright, let's start with the passenger side header. Dead giveaway, these are Chinese headers because of the stupid shrink wrap crap they put them in. We used to buy side-by-sides and all from China. They love bubble wrap for some reason. And Paulette, she was the one that was part owner of the speed shop, and she loved bubble wrap too. And every piece come in, she has to stand there and pop it.
Hardly anybody can resist that.
If you take your hand and stick it under your header, you can grab the backside of your gasket and help hold it up. Stick your bolt in the front hole. The other side, I might have to leave the front bolts out because I got to put my alternator and my air conditioning bracket on. That was one of the other things we bought from Summit, was a front runner kit we was going to put on this. But I think since I robbed everything from the green truck, I'm gonna put the front runner kit on the green truck when we put the motor in it. Anytime you put new headers on, you have to retorque your bolts after you get it hot and everything seats in. And I used to be bad about cutting header flanges half in two. I thought that's what made them blow the gaskets. But learned the hard way on that one. If you cut them half in two, short tube headers don't do it if you cut them half in two. But if you do long tube headers like these, you cut them half in two, you kill the integrity of the structure of them. So if you got the exhaust, if your first hanger's back there at your muffler, and you got tailpipe from here back, they're going to leak. So it's best not to fool with them. Just let them be. And these do have thick flanges on them, so they are a better quality header than some that we bought in the past. The reason I went with these is because the flange on them is right at 3/8 thick. So they shouldn't crawl around and give them no trouble. I think it's going to look kind of neat with the tan being up under the hood. There's one. There's another one's going to be kind of interesting. We got wires hanging down. So that's China's calling card right there. Is bubble wrap on everything. Okay. Get the gasket. Like I said, if you're just holding the gasket up with your hand on the back side, it helps to line everything up. That way you ain't got to fight with it. But if your wiring harness catches, you might have to fight with it. Well, there goes the gasket.
I don't think I can reach it.
I'm gonna have to wait. Let the paint not be so tacky. Before we put the rest of the accessory stuff on. Thought the paint being tacky might help the gaskets. Seat. Kills my backbone bending over the fender. We're gonna have a little clash here. I bought black plug wires for the green truck because I didn't want to put yellow under the hood of the green truck. But since the 32 is black, I know yellow, since the 32 is maroon and black and pewter, I knew that yellow wouldn't look good under the hood of it. So I used my black Moroso wires on the 32. So I'm gonna wind up using the yellow Excel wires, I think is what we got, on here. So shouldn't look too bad with the yellow and the tan. But I got like 6 sets of yellow plug wires, so I'm gonna use them on something. Somebody's gonna dislike it, it don't matter what it is.
As long as it works.
I was looking for that harmonic balancer and found a chrome, well, I found 3 chrome alternator brackets. 2 for this motor and 1 for your old style motors. And one day we got to go through all that stuff over there. It comes in handy, especially with price stuff nowadays. Because between this and the 32, we'd have spent at least $500 on accessory parts.
And we had it all on hand.
Yeah, had it all in stock. Okay. Well, she got the headers on her now.